In this video lecture, we're going to discuss ways you can manipulate PowerPoint, in particular, how to use the master slide function. So if we look over here, we've got a generic PowerPoint presentation opened, it's just blank. Now you've all done various things about styling it before. For example, you can go to Design, and then you can pick one of these layouts, for example, this thing here, and then you go to Home and you say, okay, well I want these different possible layouts. That's nice and interesting, but it's not particularly helpful. The thing is, you're going to do the same thing everybody else has always done because they just know how to click on this and they get this design, and then that's it. They fill in the blanks. What you need to do is customize it to make it your own. What we're going to do is show you how to use a thing called the master slide function. So you're going to go to View, click on View, come over here to Slide Master, where I'm hovering over right now. This allows you to customize the deck of cards, or say deck of slides that you have created. So we're going to click on that. Notice what we have open on here on this side. This is a list of all the built-in layouts that come with PowerPoint. You can actually create some of your own as well, but notice up at the top here, this big one that's larger, this is the master. So we've got a master for title slides, a master for basic content layout, section headers, 2 content layouts. Yeah, it's all very nice, but they're all based off of this one here. So I'm going to manipulate this one and show you what's going on. So first off, let's talk about different themes. You can come into the master slide, and then you can again pick any one of these particular themes that you like. Oh, I want to use that one, or oh, I want to use that one. But let's go with this one just because it's very common and people use it all the time. Up here, colors. You can pick some built-in colors, which are different at the very least. You can also customize whatever color you might want to have. You can also give it a name. So for example, if I look up here on colors, it says CHA Report Colors. That's a project I was working on. It was working for the community, I forget what the acronym stands for, but basically I was working for the health department, and these are their colors. So I used their colors in the presentation. Then we can select fonts. There are a bunch of different ones that are built in. You can pick different combinations. So for example, there. Some of these combinations I think are terrible. For example, Arial and Times New Roman. Well, really, they're both okay fonts to use on screen, but at the same time they're also defaults and cliches, so I'm going to try to avoid those. But I can pick whatever I want to. I can also customize my fonts, pick whatever headings I want it to, or bodies I want it to, and give it a custom name as well. If I go back up here to Effects, there are all sorts of interesting things I can do to notice how it's changing on the green as I hover over these different ones. So you can make it look slightly different. Those are kind of nice. You can also work on the backgrounds. So if I click on that, hover over, you'll notice that we have different interesting things going on in the background each time. I can then format my background specially if I want to. Come over here, and I can do, for example, a gradient fill. I can put a texture in the background. I can actually put a picture in the background if I want to. I can put patterns in the background. For example, there, or there. Or if I want to do a gradient, I can change the gradient. I can change the direction the gradient's coming from. Let's do something different because I already just used that. Here we go, vertical. And then change these. I can change the colors if I want to. I can also then, if I click on each one of these individual stops, for example, I'm clicking on the black stop, I can make it more or less transparent. I can change the brightness. All sorts of possibilities. I could also do a radial. That's kind of fun. There it goes. So the point being, I can do all sorts of weird stuff. Coming back up to the top here, I can also adjust my slide size. So I can go to a widescreen if I want, or I can go back to standard. Notice that I lost all of my stuff. It's because I didn't actually save it. So when I change my slide size, I need to reactivate and make sure I save all my good stuff. So I would recommend doing slide size first. Other things that you can do that are interesting. We're going to, if you go up here to Master Layout, and click on that, I can also get to it. I'm going to close that and say OK. I can also right click, go to Master Layout, and have all these things. So for example, On most of my slides, I just want the title and text. Do I necessarily need the date, slide number, or footer? If I want them, great, but if I don't need them, I'll just take them off. Bada bing, bada boom. Notice they disappeared. What else can we do? We can create a custom layout. So if you don't like one of these, or one of these things doesn't fit what you want, you can make your own and save it. You can also create a straight up new master. Another thing that you can do that I think is very interesting and very useful is adjusting the amount of leading between the paragraph levels. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the first and second level of bullets. I'm going to right click on those. I'm going to go to paragraph. Notice I've got my, similar to Microsoft Word, I can say left aligned, I can indent before or after the text, I can do a hanging indent if I want to, a first line indentation, I can define that by how much. Actually, I'm going to edit this first level here, paragraph, before 10 points, after 0 points. So theoretically, after this level 1 text, then the second level bullets, there's going to be 0 points. That means 10, whatever space is appearing here where my cursor is right now, that is set by the second level. So I'm going to say, alright, I'm going to leave my 10 points before, cancel out of that, select, right click, paragraph, before 10 points. Why do I want 10 points above and below the same level of bullet? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snuggle second level closer to the first level. Let's take it down to 6 and see what it looks like. It's not bad. Let's take it a little closer. Paragraph, let's take it to 3 points and see what happens, see what it looks like. There we go. So now each time that I hit enter after typing in, it'll kick to this next level. I can tab over, and all the, remember, proximity, the crap principles. Then this level is physically closer to this level than level 1 will be to itself. So if I close this, let's put in a new slide. Come on, new slide. Control. Why are you not working? Alright, new slide. Here we go. So this is level, I should capitalize that, level 1 bulleted text. This is level 2 bulleted text. Home, tab over, notice how it is snuggled in nice and tight. This should be level 1 bulleted text. Shift enter, oops, shouldn't be doing that. Home, and we go up here, where are we at? There we go. There we are. So notice the nice proximity. Check that out. Isn't that nifty? So what I've learned how to do is go into the master slide function. So we're going to go view, slide master. Then we can start adjusting all of our fun stuff here. Please remember, you can adjust the theme, the color scheme, the fonts you want to use, any particular effect you want to use on the animation, or I shouldn't say animations, the styles, graphics, there's the word I'm looking for, the graphics. You can also adjust the specific background to look like whatever you want it to be. And once you've done all that, you just close the master view, go back to your presentation, and begin on it. Now notice something interesting happened here. You're saying, wait a minute, this one's white and this one's not. Why is that? It's because, if I go to View, Master Slide, I adjusted this one and not this one. So, I want that to come up here. Format. Yeah, so I have to be very careful when I'm doing my slides. I don't mess with the wrong one. I'll want to come up here and then also adjust So I got the theme, colors, I got my colors that I want, background styles, that was it there, and notice they all change. One other thing I'm going to show you is that if you make a change up here, say for example I move the text box, the size, notice what happened there, or there. Kind of interesting, huh? So I can make big level changes here. It'll ripple through the entire thing. So if I make any change, say I want to change my fonts to the entire thing, I just come to the master slide and do it all right here. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to show you about this? Just because it's interesting. I don't think you'll ever want to do it, but I could change my fonts individually. And let's do something. Here we go. Black it there. Close that master view. Check out the font changes. Notice the leading changes too. So if I want to get my leading changed, I need to go into the slide master and change it there. So in any case, you have just had a crash course on how to work with the master slide presentation in PowerPoint. So this is a way that you can save yourself a lot of work and also make your presentations unique. You aren't going to look like everybody else's.